Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here with a vintage King Silvertone trumpet. Gotta love the Art Deco work that they did. Love the block letters for the king and of course some flower work around there. I believe this horn has probably been relacquered and I believe it's had a valve job as well. It's just in too good a shape not to have. Look at the gold wash, just as bright as can be. This horn is from 47, so it's definitely not a new horn. One of the interesting things about this model, let me take the mouthpiece off, and hopefully my dogs won't disturb me a whole lot more, or you, but you've got a piece here that will come off. This center part here, you can see the little nib. I've left that open just a little bit. You can remove this center piece and it raises the horn up a half step. And then of course your tuning slide is in this area. You've got a little nut down here that goes onto some threading on the bottom part of the brass here that keeps this in place, but just a very unique feature of this horn. I believe this was what they considered a small bore horn. Of course, when you get into bore sizes and comfort of playing, it's more the lead pipe than anything that determines just how easy the horn is to play. Okay, not sure why, but the old theme song from Mannix, just a nice melody is what I've had on my mind today. And so we'll give that a shot on this wonderful 47 King Silvertone. Just love this all sterling silver bell. Beautiful, beautiful horn. Okay, I'm going to be using a GR64MS medium shallow mouthpiece. Then I'll go to a very deep trumpet flugel piece, a legit piece, and a lead mouthpiece as well. You stick around to the end, you'll get to experience all of them and see just how versatile this fine King vintage horn is. I have had several of these Silvertones and a few Silversonics as well. All of them were at least decent players, if not very good. And this one is probably in better shape than certainly any of the King Silvertones that I've had. Some of them, the only problem was the valves were, showing a little bit of wear as, the years have rolled up on them and they've been played heavy. It's just so interesting to find one in exceptional condition. Okay, we'll play that same song. We'll go with a Reeves C2J, a very deep trumpet flugel piece. Take a lot of the bright overtones off, give you a mellow trumpet flugel sound. Okay, as I'm often wont to say, if you're at a wedding and you need to play something that has a legit sound, well, the beautiful old King Silvertone pull it off. We'll use a rather legit mouthpiece here. It is a Reeves 42B, patterned after the box 7B, 24 drill size, so it's a little bigger. Kind of a V-shaped mouthpiece, but a beautiful tone I think you get from this. And we'll try the old classic, the Lord's Prayer, just play a little of that. Try and get a legit sound for you. I've said it before, but Zig Canstel at one time was holding a vintage King in his hands, and he said this was the best trumpet made in the 1900s. I just wish he'd given his thoughts on why. But such an interesting quote from a man, of course, that produced some very fine instruments himself and had worked with some tremendous developers and instrument makers himself. Okay, we're going to try a lead mouthpiece with that. We'll try a little bouncier number as well, just to show you again the versatility that King Silvertone. Okay, if you've watched my videos before, and I've got a couple of hundred out, most of them dealing with horns, mutes, mouthpieces, and so on. I'm not a big mute guy. Unfortunately, I'm on the road usually 4 or 5 days a week, so I play with a practice mute all the time while I'm on the road. But I ran across a friend, Greg, thank you so much, that had a marvelous old H&B mute. I think they call this the what do they call this? The wah wah doo-wall. Really an interesting piece here. And it's got a vintage type feel to it. We'll try it with this King and just see how it does. Never forget reading at trumpetherald.com, one of my favorite places on the web, a guy had written in and said, hey, we're playing Harmon mutes, and this is a type of Harmon mute style with the removable stem. And he said, and the guy next to me is playing so much softer than I can play. How's he doing that? And somebody said, is his stem all the way out? And he wrote back later after the next practice and said his stem was all the way out. So he removed the stem, and you get a really nice sound with that, and especially with this particular mute. All right, a little bonus footage there with the old Humesenberg wah-wah do-all and a wonderful King Silversonic, just a gorgeous horn. Now I will say, interesting thing that I noticed here, there's just a little bit of markage. Where is that? Yeah, right there. You can see just a little bit, might even be under the lacquer, but it looks like a little deterioration. I hate the word red rot. It's such a solid piece. That's where the lead pipe is covered with the part that's leading into the tuning slide. But I did get a borescope. I looked under there. It looks like there is some deterioration there. The lead pipe is still very solid, holds air. Did a little suction test on it. No leakage at all. And I'll tell you, the interesting thing, I used to just be so worried. Of course, red rot is not pretty, does not show at all on the exterior of the lead pipe. But I read one time, I believe it was Jason Harrelson, said his horns, he's not particular, well, I don't want to say, let me just get to the root of it. He said at least weekly, I believe, in the thing that I read from him, he just pours isopropyl, rubbing alcohol, we used to call it. Just pours it down the lead pipe, lets it stand around this area, and then he goes down with the snake, the bristle brush that's long, and he draws that up and cleans his whole mouthpiece out with it. Now, I use a lead pipe swab or something similar to that. However, every now and then I do like to get that, especially if I'm going to be gone for a while, and I've been playing a lot recently. I'll pour that alcohol down to get the lead pipe snake. Nothing heals red rot. It's already begun attacking the metal. With some people, saliva, obviously if you drink a lot of sugar drinks while you're playing, that doesn't help. In fact, it does hurt. But that alcohol will stop the further progress of any red rot, and a tremendous way to clean out a horn. Frankly, a lot of times I'll use the lead pipe, the snake through the lead pipe, and then I'll take the tuning slide out and I'll continue using that on the tuning slide. Wonderful way to prohibit red rot from becoming any worse than it is. And like that, you could take a horn that has, and a lot of horns have a little bit of deterioration you can see inside the lead pipe, and keep them in tremendous shape for many, many years. In fact, if you regularly clean that with alcohol, I don't think you're going to see the progress of red rot at all. All right, just thoughts there on vintage horns, what you can find. This particularly, though, what a beautiful, beautiful horn. The case that came with it, just about mint. As perfect as any vintage case I've seen. Absolutely a wonderful thing to experience. Okay, thanks for tuning in, folks. We appreciate the thumbs up if you're still with us. If you'd like to subscribe, like I say, we've got probably maybe 220, 225, just past 2 million views. No, make that 1 million views on our YouTube channel. Took many years to get that, about 7 years. And we're hoping eventually to have 5,000 followers. I think we're a little bit over 4,700 now. As always, we not only like exhibiting trumpets, doing a little online review with different mouthpieces, a mute today. But we love the comments. Read the comments down there. Some guys that have had horns like this, their experiences with them, strengths. The sterling silver bell, I've always thought it gave a very clear sound, but I believe it was Ranald Schilke that said with the sterling silver bell, the darker sound is darker yet, and the brighter sound is brighter yet. He felt it was a great canvas, but primarily he thought for the advanced player. And certainly a worthy thought from a great horn maker himself. Take care of yourself, folks, and someone near you.